Hello there, this is Richard from the Metal Cell podcast. I am delighted to welcome Mick from Dead Label. How are you, Mick?
What's going on, man? How are you?
Thanks for coming on the show, dude.
I'm all good.
It's good to have you on. It's a fucking wild night outside. I don't know, where are you? Are you in the...
I'm in Newtown in County Kildare, so it's blustery, alright. It's fairly frosty as well. The bit hailstones there as well.
Yeah. Would you believe we put up this massive, well, it is a kind of it's like a Bedouin tent, and it's all anchored down, Jesus Christ, with steel tent pegs and rope and everything. And I'm just looking out before the interview going, fuck me, if it will stay there tonight, it'll stay there any night. I wouldn't mind, but I had my bass guitar still inside the fucking tent. I was just going, oh, Jesus.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's a good test for it, at least.
It is a good test, man. It is a good test. So things are, you've probably had a busy 2 weeks on social media, the next week and the week after as well. How are you coping with that?
Not me, anyway. No, I'm actually off social media for Lent at the minute. So Claire is our little engine that drives this machine that is Dead Label. So she's had everything sorted. I've been kind of doing the computery, photoshoppy, designing little things here and there, getting artwork and stuff ready for the EP and shit. But all the social media buzz, that's been Claire. She's a little wet on that.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, like there's a lot going on with she at the moment with the build up to the release of the EP Anthology, and that's why I'm probably talking to you tonight more so than anything else. There's 2 songs on it, Dead Weight and Flux, that fans wouldn't know too much about. Would that be fair to say?
Yep, the 2 of those songs they're kind of, the whole idea behind the EP is kind of like, well, obviously COVID kind of fucked up our album plans. Mm-hmm. So, Jesus, excuse me.
Get it out of you, son. Get it out of you.
Kind of fucked up our album plans. So we had a couple of songs that were recorded anyway. Flux and Deadweight are 2 of them. There's actually a few more as well, but they'll probably be going on the album. And it was just kind of a way of like boxing off all the singles, just putting them in a nice little neat little package and moving on from that thing to bridge the gap between, the album and stuff. Now we may even have to release more singles in the meantime for the album before the album is released, because again, you just don't know when this is all going to let up. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. And had you much of a contribution to Deadweight and Flux?
No, not really. They were written. God, they're very, very old songs. Yeah, they're a year before me. Now I have my stamp on them live and stuff, but the recordings were kind of done way before I even joined. So, so that's just an excuse to come out and see them live. I stick in a few pinches and stuff.
Brilliant. And I must say that, like, it's a different dimension with you joining the band as a second guitarist.
God, yeah. I know for Danny especially, like, it's kind of opened up a world for him, like, because it's tough to be a guitar player without a backing guitar, you know what I mean? So, and Danny he's a phenomenal lead player, so like that for him has just opened it up, and he is he's a sucker for harmony. He loves harmony, so that is it's another option we have now as well. And so yeah, it's expanded this sound something else, like even live now sonically, like Dead Label were always one of the biggest sounding bands. It's just even bigger now,
Yeah. And again, songwriting wise, had you much input into the new album?
Yeah, there's bits here and there that I've contributed. Again, a lot of songs they had written, we haven't even decided on a full track list yet, even for the album. So I have stuff that I've been sending back and forth to the lads and Claire and stuff. So we're working. It could be anything really at this stage. The album, just a few songs that we know 100% they're gonna, like, this is definitely gonna open the album and things like that. But
okay, cool.
Yeah.
And who are you working with in relation to the recording of it?
We don't even know yet.
No? Okay.
At the minute, what we were doing before all the pandemic hit was we were just starting kind of pre-production. So like the lads, they weren't really up to speed on how to record and stuff, and that's something that I was able to bring into the band. So I was recording demos and producing and stuff. So we have the option now, like getting we can pretty much record ourselves. You know what I mean? It's just it'll probably be sent off to be mixed and mastered somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can do most the basics on most recording softwares. You know, that kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know who we're going to be working with yet. 100% sure. I think we were hoping to kind of work with the guy that did Throne of Bones, but again, it's just COVID has just thrown everything around so much. We just don't know where we are with exactly.
Yeah, because I mean, he worked extensively with Mick right through up to.
Mick's amazing. Yeah, but he's even done the Flux and every song that's on the EP, all of that stuff as well. So definitely nobody's been ruled out at this stage. It's just again, it's just down to COVID when we can properly get together and sort stuff out, you know.
Yeah. What actually programs are you using, Mick, to record at the moment? Is it through Reaper or what you up to GarageBand or any of those?
Logic Pro X, I think, or Logic something. Yeah. I'm not great at it now. I can do the basics and edit and MIDI and a few things like that.
I presume you're some way tech savvy, though, are you?
To a certain extent, yeah. Like I did a year in college to study sound in Ballyfermot when I was like 17 or 18. God, that was 10 years ago now. But yeah, I got the basics down then with you know, I had to use DAW and all that kind of stuff. So I can do demos and fucking Jesus, with Google and YouTube you can do anything these days. You know what I mean? I learned how to fix my car doing with YouTube videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what about gear? Did you buy some new gear over the lockdown for the guitar, pedals, anything like that?
Yeah. First thing I invested in when the lockdown hit was these headphones, the decent headphones. I don't know what they are, Audio Technica or something. And I had gotten Line 6 Helix, and then I ended up selling that and get myself an Axe 8 fractal kind of Axe effects kind of job.
Okay.
And that into just like a little interface, and then I have like Easy Drummer, and that's basically all you need. You know what I mean? All right.
So you didn't splash out in a new guitar or anything like that, like?
No, I really wanted
the temptation.
Oh my god, no, it was unreal. And I was only talking to the rep we have at Charvel, and he's put in for a price for me for my own kind of custom shop guitar. I probably won't be able to. I think the waiting period now because of COVID is like 2 years to get a custom shop. Yeah, so it gives me plenty of time to save, you know.
yeah. But like, I'm sure you've been looking at other bands' posts. And fucking, I've seen loads of lads purchasing all types of guitars.
Yeah, there was actually, it's crazy. Oh, did I actually buy a guitar? No, do you know what I did? I sold a load of shit with the intention of buying a guitar, and I think my car crapped out on me, and I had to fix my car. And I spent the money that I was going to spend on a guitar on a car. So yeah, I got screwed out of that. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, one of the lads from Lugosi bought a fucking coffin case for his guitar.
I've always wanted one of those.
Really?
I remember those. Yeah.
I never came across one of them before, man. I thought it was hilarious.
I think I still have a Total Guitar magazine somewhere with that coffin case in it. I remember thinking that was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. And yeah, pure goth, but sure, look.
I know. Like, could you actually imagine going into a gig carrying it, like, you know? But we were just talking before you came on there about Bloodstock and the fact that I saw your band Displace Hell. That was either 2017, 2018. It was one of those dates.
I think it was 2018.
Yeah. How are the lads? I've been in touch with them.
Grand, yeah. I actually I helped one of them move there recently. He moved out to Sligo. Yeah, they're great. I keep in touch with them all the time. I go skating with the bass player Dylan, and I'm talking to the other lads all the time. Just
are they still making music?
Oh yeah. They kind of, one of them got married and bought a house, and you know, that I think kind of took advantage of the fact that you can't do fuck all with being in a band, and kind of got their lives together as most of us are kind of trying to do, or you know, kind of way. Yeah, but I've heard some of the new stuff that they're working on. It's unreal. It's really, really good.
That's good to hear, man, because they have a fairly solid fan base in Ireland and in the UK as well.
For sure, yeah.
Because sometimes you just wonder, really, wouldn't you, that with this whole fucking lockdown in place and stuff like that, are bands actually splitting up? Are they fucking, or what are they up to, you know?
Yeah, well, I can for sure say that the anxiety that and stress that this whole thing has caused, I can see a lot of bands not sticking together, and I can completely understand why. You know what I mean? It's just going to show how frivolous or like how fragile the industry is. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like this can just completely stop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or just completely fucking frustrate you to the nth degree as well. I don't know how many bands are sitting on albums and EPs as well that they don't want to release.
That's exactly. You don't really know what to do, and like there's only so much like pumping out fucking generic shite content that you can do. You know what I mean? Just trying to keep the thing afloat. Like, and we're guilty of it as well. You have to keep the interaction and the engagement on the social media profiles, and even that in itself just gets like when there's nothing going on, you've no gigs to promote, you know, tours, no nothing like this.
Yeah, you were saying there about social media. I mean, the campaign you've had promoting merchandising is just unbelievable.
Yeah, but what happened was, well, lockdown hit, and I ended up being off work for a long time, and I also broke my arm, so I was literally like in bed. I couldn't play guitar, I couldn't do fucking anything. So I figured
you broke your arm fucking skateboarding.
I did, yeah. I broke my elbow.
Fuck's sake.
I hadn't been on a skateboard in like 13 years, and the second day I got back on it, I fell and broke my fucking elbow like an idiot. I was off the skate park with two of the lads from hell, and it was really stupid how I fell, but I fell like, you know, straight out, and it was just like a fracture in my elbow or something. But I fell, and then I got up and I was like doing all this. I was like, oh, it feels fine, because I knew something weird happened when I fell. Yeah. And then I walked over to one of the lads and I tried to pick up my skateboard, and I actually couldn't lift it. I was like, fuck. So we had to drive to the hospital, but it was my gear changing hands. So I had to get one of the lads to change the gears while I were driving to the hospital, because they don't drive. Like, I was the only one who drove. So that was good crack. But that was last July.
Oh, okay, that was a good bit back then. So it didn't really. Yeah. If you were going to break your elbow, man, it was probably a good time to break it, was it?
That was. See, I was a skateboarder from when I was very young, up until I was about 16, when, like, you know, sex, drugs, and rock and roll took over my life instead. And it's always been a passion of mine. You know, I've loved it. Yeah. Even though I couldn't do it, I always watched it. You know what I mean? And I was just a big fan of it. And then lockdown happened, and I was like, "Ooh, I have no gigs now for at least a year, so I can risk it." I was like, "What's the worst that can happen? Break an arm." And sure enough, day 2, I fucking broke my arm.
Stop! I couldn't make it up. Fucking hell! So you were put.
It was a blessing.
Yeah. So you were put to work basically then on social media, highlighting merchandising.
Yeah. Cool. I learned how to use Photoshop and fucking design T-shirts and all that shite. Yeah.
And again, like, it's a valuable part of any band, merchandising money. Like, where were you getting your stuff made? Was it actually in England, or whereabouts were you getting?
Yes, yeah, Pins and Knuckles merch. We were getting it done. Okay. I'm pretty sure they're a UK company. Yeah. Claire actually was the community. They're brilliant. They do work for, I'm pretty sure they've done work for like Slipknot and like While She Sleeps and stuff. Claire was the go between with them. I just kind of did the designy stuff, but they were great to work with.
Yeah, I got all my hoodies made with them, but as many people of the show know, I got hit with fucking a serious import tax bill.
No way.
Yeah. When was
that? Did that work? How does that work?
Fucking, I think it was February, maybe. Yeah, it was February. Yeah, I got charged around nearly €9 per fucking hoodie coming into the. Yeah. Oh, fuck it. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, and
wankers.
See, I knew I was in trouble anyway when Brexit hit, and there was such a delay with a load of stuff with the merch, so I knew I was going to be in trouble anyway. But to that amount of money, I didn't fucking... it was sickening. It was really sickening when it happened.
Oh, that's a kick in the teeth, all right. Yeah, we were lucky now. The merch that we have available now, we have been sitting on it for we have had it since last year, so we just dodged all that.
That's why I brought it up. Yeah, I was just wondering, did you get caught with that? No.
I think we've had those. God, we've had those. I designed that T-shirt a long time ago, and we just, again, COVID fucked up getting the mixes back. The dude that was mixing, we recorded in track mix, but they were mixed in the States and mastered over there. So that guy, he was flat out working.
Was it Chris Rickshaw?
Yeah, that's the dude. That's him. Yeah.
How did you come across him?
He did Throne of Bones.
Yeah.
He did that album. I have no idea how they met him. No, actually, that was obviously, I think it was just through the label. When Throne of Bones was, that whole deal was going down before my time.
Yeah. And that's one thing about merchandising. It's a different ball game this year anyway in relation to bands that are based in Ireland. So I wonder, like a lot of, as I said, you deal with pins and knuckles, so maybe you might have a new range coming out now, but I don't know. Is it worth your while going that way, down that road?
I doubt it. I'd say now, well, this is the first I've heard of someone getting stoned, so I'd say we'll probably have to shop local now, kind of way. But again, like the market's being created now for stuff in Ireland. That kind of way where it opens doors for Irish business.
Talk about videos, man, and you definitely have a lot of fun doing them. What would be your favourite one so far?
I have to say probably the False Messiah video, because just the experience of making that video, like that was a trip for me, like, because I had just joined the band and nobody knew I was in the band, so I had got to go on like a super secret trip to Poland to film it. And
was it filmed in Poland? I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was with the dudes that do Behemoth's videos and stuff.
Group of 13.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Cool. And so we like it to me it was really cool, because like that label, like they paid for my flights and shit, like, and just brought me over, and just there was a massive crew, like it was like a big abandoned building in the middle of I don't know where the fuck we were, the backyards of Poland. Anyway, it was freezing cold. But it was just an awesome experience, and everybody was so nice, and it was just really, really cool. I'd never seen anything as like a big a production as that before, and it paid off though, because it was amazing.
Yeah,
it was a really good video.
Yeah, and like there was Pure Chaos as well. That was another fantastic one. Who did that?
I was actually supposed to be an extra in that video.
Were you? Yeah.
Yeah. I remember Claire asked us to come down. I can't remember why we couldn't or what happened. That was
Crooked Gentleman. That's what it was.
Crooked Gentleman did that one. Yeah. I did a video with them with Hell as well. They're brilliant. Really, really good.
And they're Irish, are they?
They are, yeah.
Okay. Like, I mean, there's a great standard set with the label for videos. I mean, and then you come along then and do Triggered, man. That was such fun watching it. Like,
yeah, that was gas. It was one of those songs like that we'd be at practice, and we always just were like, "Oh, it's such a party song! Like it really is." And then the guitar solo was so cheesy, and it really just lent itself to that. And there was supposed to be like a whole a story to that video and all, but we ended up all just having such a good time that we're like, "Ah, fuck it, let's just make a party out of it." And then I threw a cake at Danny, like just for the crack. I got the camera.
Yeah, actually, I saw him getting hit with the cake. I didn't know it was you that threw it.
Yeah, that was all just just having the laugh, like, and then there was a pool.
The pool got fucking devastated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Cosmo Palace as well. He did a fantastic video as well for Horrenda there. Did you see that video for Horrenda?
I did, yeah. Angel was amazing. He did Dystopian for us as well, and he did a few videos for Hell as well. When we were in Displaced Hell, and back when we were Devil Wants Her Swagger Back. That's how I know Angel. I've known Angel a long time. We did that's that pig mask that was from his. That was from his video we did for Casualties for Displaced Hell.
All right, yeah, cool.
Yeah, he's a great dude.
Yeah, and as I said, it's again like it's just goes to show that within a scene like Ireland, there's so many talented people working away in the background there that sometimes don't even fucking get the credit they deserve. You know, this is why I do this show as well. I love giving a shout out to these lads.
Yeah, I find that Ireland is one of those places. It's like a hidden plethora of really hardworking and really talented bands as well. But like even like Crooked Gentleman, Cosmo Palace, like the standard is just it's up here. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What about with the new stuff? I mean, I suppose like you could do a fucking lyrical video or something with what's coming through. I don't know. I'm just saying it there because you are fairly limited in relation to what you can do release wise with a single. Have you thought about going down the lyrical video route? Or?
Well, yeah, the video that's coming out for Deadweight is going to be a lyric video, and
yeah, it's a safe bet, really, isn't it?
like
I mean,
that's it. Like, but even at that, like YouTube, kind of, it's not dead for music videos by any means, but it's not what it used to be. You know what I mean? Because there's fucking TikTok, there's Instagram, Facebook. They all play videos. YouTube plays videos. You know what I mean? So, but like you've got so many options now, so you can be creative with your videos too. You know?
Yeah, that's the challenge, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give it a listen to Deadweight actually. Man, that carries some heft.
It's a fucking chunky one, all right.
Oh, Jesus Christ almighty, that is something else. How conscious are you with writing, say, stuff like that? Like, is it more or less built on, we'll say, certain riffs? Like, is there a lot of ideas thrown around, but like maybe one or two riffs are just obvious choices and then build on them?
Well, it kind of depends, really. Yeah, I suppose the song, most of the time, it'll get built around the riff. Like, there's always that one riff that's just, it's the riff, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's kind of anyone, like how it goes is it's different each time, but you know, you start with one, or sometimes you'll have like maybe an intro, a verse, and a chorus, and then it's kind of just snowballs from there.
Always the temptation with a lot of bands, I find, is that they overcomplicate it. You know, they have this fucking brilliant riff, and instead of just keeping it simple enough, because I mean, if you think a lot of it, I always look at kind of crowds and the way they react to certain bands and certain riffs, like Sepultura, for example, or Gojira and stuff. Like, they always seem to gravitate towards more simplistic stuff live.
100%. That's something that me personally I've always been an advocate for, kind of simplicity. And funnily enough, when I joined Dead Label, they had just kind of not made a conscious decision. I think they had seen Rob Zombie at Download, and they're watching them, and they kind of had this epiphany, and they were like, that is what it's about. It's just simple riffs. It's a good
That's
time.
A great example, man, Rob Zombie. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's just, I myself always have been just like a good time riff. I'm not into technical wankery or anything like that. I do appreciate it and love a lot of listening to technical music, but when it comes to it, like, I've been there, I've been on so many fucking stages, I know what works and what doesn't work. Yeah. And it's
your craft.
It's the fun stuff, you know what I mean? It's the most fun to write, it's the most fun to play, it's the most fun to be on stage, and it's the most fun to watch, you know what I mean? So it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think a lot of bands fall into the trap of that. I mean, okay, there's, you know, I think maybe a band's perception of what people think of them is different to what really goes on, and that comes out in a live venue more so. When the overcomplicated stuff, you'd actually see people turning around and start talking.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, I noticed that from a very young age, going to gigs and fibbers, that like you could just, you'd be walking through or having a pint or whatever, and there'd be a band that are just going fucking hell for leather. It's fucking solos and fucking technical riffs, and it just comes off as a lot of whoosh, fuzz in the background, and you're like, whatever. And then I remember seeing fucking Dead Label as a fan, like, and just being like fucking big fat stompy riffs that are just fucking catching you, you know. And that they've always been like that, but their epiphany with Rob Zombie and all just basically was like solidified it. Now there's still some of the songs, like Danny, he's a freaking genius, so he is. Some of the stuff is very, very complicated, even though it seems very simple. Yeah. Which you could come in and he'll have a riff, and you watch him play it, and he'll try and teach it to you, and like it should take 10 minutes, and you're there an hour later, like, what the fuck is this? You know, I fucking. There's just one of those days where you're looking at him, you're just like, oh, you're a wanker. You're just fucking playing that to piss me off.
Oh God, yeah. Have you been listening to much new music at the moment, man? I am just so much enjoying Gojira's new album.
Yeah, I enjoyed what they've released so far. And is the album out? The album's not out, is it?
It's like came out this morning, man. I've been playing it since.
See, I'm off social media for Lent, man. I know nothing. Yeah, I will fucking Jesus. I didn't even know that. Yeah. We actually we were blessed when we played with Gojira that time in Brixton Academy. Fucking 2 years, or it was nearly 2 years ago now. Yeah. We got to hear a lot of that album, but there was no vocals on it. It was just demos. Okay. And that was probably one of the greatest experiences of my life. Was sitting in the backstage area after playing, and Joe the Plantier was just, oh, do you want to hear new songs? And we were like, holy shit, yes we do.
Jesus Christ.
We actually showed him Deadweight as well back then. That's how long that went back.
Like, how important is that relationship with Gojira for you?
Well, I suppose as with every relationship, well, especially in a band, you just want to make a good impression on everybody. You know what I mean? We something I learned from Dead Label when I played with Dead Label when I was like fucking first starting out gigging. They gave me my first gigs and another band I was in and stuff, and kind of just watching them. You just come in, load in, behave yourself. You know what I mean? Be quick, be efficient. And that kind of stuff, like stood. I think they recognized that in me when they met me years later. They realized I was still kind of the same. And when it comes to like playing with Gojira and stuff, you just kind of try to keep yourself, be invisible for most of it. Do you know that kind of way?
Yeah.
And don't get in anyone's way and stuff, and just be polite. Really, have manners. You know,
you wouldn't get to be falling around the place, like. Exactly,
yeah. And then we were just kind of, I don't know, we're just kind of lucky enough to hang out with them. To be honest, when we were there for 2 nights, and we only went to hang out the second night just by chance because I was having a cigarette and I ended up talking to Christian, their guitarist, and he was like, "Oh, come up." He's like, "Where were you last night?" And we were like, "Oh, we didn't want to bother you." And he was like, "No."
So Irish, isn't it? It's so fucking Irish, man.
It is, yeah. I don't want any hassle. No, you're grand. You're grand.
No, are you sure?
I don't mind now.
Oh my God, that's such a trait.
It is, yeah.
That's such a trait. But yeah,
they couldn't have been nicer.
Yeah, and it's a relationship that's got you some good supports, you know. Like, would you agree that it's opened up a few doors for you?
Well, I think so. I hope so. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, definitely. Like, I know we caught a few people's attention after those two shows in London and Manchester, like, for sure. And the guys had played with them before as well in Ireland.
Yeah, correct. That was at that. Yeah, that was in the Academy, as far as I can remember.
Yeah, I remember wanting to go, but I can't remember why. I actually might not have been allowed to go. I think I was that young back then.
Really? Fuck. Okay.
I think so, yeah. As far as I can remember, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're just a band that if they come to Ireland, you have to go. It's as simple as that. It's
for sure.
It's just a no-brainer. There's very few bands for me that are like that. That when they come to Ireland, you know, you'd be looking at holidays and be going fucking moaning, going, "Oh fuck me, I have to go to Dublin, see him, and spoken to blah blah blah." This could cost me probably 2 days holidays. But for Gojira, I don't give a fuck, man. I'm there. Doesn't matter.
I'm not gonna lie. I was always a fan. Well, not always a fan. I wasn't a fan for a long time, and then I got into them, and then I saw them at Bloodstock.
Yes, right. That was the time they headlined. Yeah, that was 2018.
That was the year we played, and that was when I was with Danny and Claire and Dan and Steve from This Place Hell, and it blew my fucking mind. But I was so drunk I can't really remember it. But then when we played with them, I became an even bigger fan. Like, it just really solidified them as one of my favorite bands after seeing them a few times. Like, because they're one of those. I don't know. They grew on me way more. And then I think as well, being around Dead Label, because they're all such big fucking fans of them, that rubs off on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
When you're with people and they really appreciate something,
yeah,
it definitely helps.
And their sound lads as well always helps.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I was watching the video Amazonia. I always wonder, you know, that like kind of are a lot of bands unconsciously taking in influences from the likes of early Sepultura, you know, Roots and stuff like that. Amazonia's working with tribes now as well. What about, we'll say, the likes of you, Mick, guitar-wise, who would be always on the back of your mind when you're kind of writing music? Would it be early Slipknot or something like that? Or
yeah, like I can never escape sounding a bit like Slipknot. It's as much as I try and fight it. It's like,
is it Slipknot? Is it?
Yeah, they're my favorite band of all
I didn't
time.
know that.
That was just a lucky guess.
Yeah.
No, for sure. Slipknot are. I know they're not as good as they used to be. You know what I mean? But they're like our generation's Kiss. I fucking worship that band, and I always will. And I don't give a shit. Yeah. And I, believe it or not, I have a big. There's kind of a Dead Label influence in me, because before I was in the band years ago, I was in another band, and I heard that they were going to be auditioning a guitarist, and I was like, ooh, I might try get on that. This was like years ago, so I learned their Saint Slaughter album back to front, and that it was at a crucial point for me, like kind of as a guitar player, kind of learning, and so I kind of had this Dead Label-y vibe in my playing. Just kind of came natural to me after spending so much time learning songs, and they never auditioned anyone in the end. So it was like fucking 10 years later, I got the gig.
Jesus. So Slipknot would be one of your favourites. Anyone else? Are you a Metallica fan or anything like that?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like Metallica are kind of like fucking, they're like potatoes. You know what I mean? They go with everything. You just kind of have to have them there.
Yeah.
Rob Zombie. God, why am I drawing a blank on bands I love? Gojira. Slipknot, fuck.
But like as I said, just kind of influential guitar playing more than anything else is kind of what I'm asking.
Well, yeah, probably be Slipknot for sure. Metallica, Dead Label, fucking Whitechapel as well. I get a lot from them. I think subconsciously. Machine Head.
Yeah. And have you shared the stage with Machine Head? Or had you joined the band?
I haven't. No, I wasn't in the band at that time. No.
Okay. So, in relation now to like your last gig was a Sunstroke, was it? Warm up?
Yeah, fucking three songs. That was all we got at that last gig. It was so bollocks. it was like the worst little taste of like, you know, a gig.
Fuck, I didn't realise there was only 3 songs.
Yeah,
how hard was it to pick those 3 songs, man?
Well, Dead was played and Flux was played, so I think it was them, Dead by Flux and for Chaos. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. And in relation to set lists in general, before all this shit hit the fan, do you alternate much with songs?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I think so. I think we always kind of open with Deadweight for some reason. It's one of those songs that it's a really good way to gauge the crowd, and we kind of know by a certain point of Deadweight if we've won them over or not. You know, that kind of way. Because some crowds you have to fight to win over, and Deadweight kind of has something for everybody. You know.
Yeah.
It's once you get to the midsection, you know, you just know if you have them or not.
Yeah. Like there's songs there just left out, and they kill you to leave them out.
Yeah, that's definitely an issue if you've got a shorter set. Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to get to. Yeah.
But I think the shorter sets are somewhat better than longer sets because if you leave them wanting more, you know, that kind of thing. But I think when it comes to like constructing a set list, for me personally, it's all about tension and release, and I think that's kind of with everything, writing songs and drawing pictures, all sorts of art. I find it's the balance between chaos and order. You know what I mean? It's just you're constantly riding this wave. So it's one of those things that you just kind of have to feel it out. You know what I mean? And we'll never play a gig without at least having a jam to know how the set's going to feel.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, you'll have to tailor it. Obviously, I mean, when you look at what had you lined up for 2021, it was Whacking, Download, Resurrection Fest.
Yeah. God, so much.
Man.
Yeah, we had fucking Jesus Christ, like they've played Download before, and it's like my bucket list as I went to see Slipknot in 2009 at Download, and it just fucking blew my mind. And then I saw them again in 2013, and I swore I'd never go back until I was playing. And I was fucking playing in 2020, and it got cancelled. And then it got cancelled in 2021. So fingers crossed for 22.
Yeah, I mean, that is a fucking serious amount of nice festivals to play. I was at Download. That Resurrection Fest is always one that we talk about, but we never get to. It's over in some parts of Spain.
That's the one in Spain. You're breaking up there.
I was just saying there that it's over in Spain. Yeah, it's a place that we'd love to get to.
Yeah.
We discovered Brutal Assault in Czech Republic. So, man, that definitely is to be going back to again, you know, and we might change then after that again.
Yeah, man, I'm so sickened over that run to get cancelled. Like, it was just so many hopes to dream. But I have to say, we're kind of blessed because with so many bands, like, it's obviously we don't make a living off that label. We all have day jobs, you know what I mean? Yep. So we were okay with that regard. But like, just so many bands that just like it was their bread and butter, you know, they're fucked.
Yeah, and as well as that, it's the fucking lads that have printed the t-shirts with the tour dates on the back, man. That's the ultimate nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll be worth a fortune in the future, but not right now.
If you can see that behind me, man, that's the Siege, which that never happened.
Is it? Oh shit! Yeah.
So that's a nice collector's item. Thanks to John from the Siege, much appreciated, John. I asked him, just saying, look, man, I'm decorating the studio, you know, any chance you've some posters? So he gave me that one, the one that never happened.
Fair boss. John's pure sound. I have to say, your studio looks very, very nice.
Well, thank you, man. It's getting good use now since I got this Wi-Fi mesh network. So
what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's fucking great, man. It means that I'm back up in my studio where I want to be. Because there's Wi-Fi dead zones in the house, you know. So,
tell me about it.
Yeah, so it's what's it called? TP-Link, and what they do is they set up a mesh, and what it is you're like, I have the front of my place is a cottage, and then there's an extension built onto it. So this is the new part of the house, and it's upstairs in the new part of the house. My fibre comes into the cottage, and then it disperses supposedly, but it doesn't. So I could only get Wi-Fi literally in the nearest section of the new house to the cottage, which is fucking downstairs, and it's just shite. I tried those plug-in extenders, a load of bollocks.
I heard they're shite.
Some money on them fucking things. And then I just went with Wi-Fi and mesh, and they look like fire alarms, and you put one in the cottage, as I said, you put one then halfway through the house, and that you can connect the two of them with your mobile, and then I have the third one up in the studio here, and that connects to all of them. So it just creates, as it says, a mesh.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, as I said, so I'm back up in the studio. I'm fucking delighted, man.
Shit, that's fucking handy, yeah. Jesus, it's unreal.
Yeah, because I mean, like, I'd be interviewing bands in the cottage, and it was a lovely setup down the cottage. It was like a little bar area, but like, fuck it, the wife and the kids are watching television. They come out through the fucking curtains. She might fucking go at the dishwasher or something. And Jesus Christ, fucking mighty.
First world problems.
Did I not realise I'm fucking recording? After I tell them I'm warning, she's still fucking pulling fucking forks and knives out of the dishwasher.
Sure, look.
But yeah, as I said, so that's where I am now, the studio, so it's great. And I can talk away there, and there's no fucking issues with drink, drugs, or rock and roll, you know. You mentioned.
Yeah.
This new release is coming out on when? The Anthology is coming out. Is it the 2nd?
I think the second is Deadweight. The single for Deadweight's the 2nd, and I'm pretty sure it's the 9th for Flux, and we'll be releasing the EP then.
Okay, cool. And did you say you were working on the artwork or something with it?
The artwork, yeah, I have it done. It's sent off. We're going to get a handful of physical copies done up and see how they go, and be kind of limited edition kind of run of just a few CDs if anyone still buys them. We always get asked for fucking CDs.
That's me.
Yeah. There are people who still buy them. I still buy them occasionally myself as well. Like, I'll never not buy a Slipknot album. Things like that. Like, but yeah, it is fucking crazy. That's the plan anyway.
A big shout out to Andy as well from The Crawling Man. They're releasing a single. There's 2 songs on a cover of Play Dead by Bjork and The Sparrow. And Andy's releasing that on cassette as well.
No way. I had actually, we'd actually thought about cassettes at one point, and not running it out in a minute, but yeah. But that's the thing, it's collector's items, you know what I mean?
Oh, fact. Like, I have a Nomadic Rituals EP downstairs, and I've listened to it a load of times on digital, but the CD has a wax seal on it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be open, man.
There's no point, like.
No, and that's just, like, people fucking just don't understand us metalers, man, because we're very that way, aren't we? We love our collectibles.
Yeah, we're sentimental. Like, like this, you can see all my shit. I find it hard to throw things away. Like,
fucking skateboard then in the back. Is that a Pushead design? It no?
That's my. This is the first skateboard I bought since I came back. I don't know. It was a flip skateboard. There's loads of stickers on it. It's actually a This Place Hell sticker on it. I don't know if you can see it.
Ah, yeah, cool. Nice.
Yeah, we're hoarders. I don't know what it is. It's something to do with being a metalhead, for sure. I have so many toys and stupid things like horror movie collectibles and shit like that, you know. It's just...
Yeah.
My house is littered with stuff.
Yeah, and you know what? More power to us. Fuck it. Someone else will be picking it up after us when we're fucking gone, man. They'll just end up in the charity shops after all our fucking effort.
When I die, they'd be like... Yeah, it'd be like, did a child die? Why is there so many toys here?
Okay, so I'm going to leave you go, Mick. Do you want to say anything to any fans that are listening here about the band?
Sound. Thanks for everything. please listen to our music. And don't forget about us.
Yeah. And as I said, I mean, Jesus, you're one of the most active bands on social media I've ever seen. You know? So that people are always informed of what you're up to anyway, which is always good.
That's it. If you don't know about us, we'll make you listen to us. So
yeah. All right. Listen, best of luck with the release of the EP, and thanks for coming on the show. Mick Hynes, much appreciated.
Cheers, man. Appreciate it.
Okay. Support your local metal scene, and if you like the show, subscribe to the Metal Cell. And as I said, Dead Label will be releasing the EP Anthology in 2 weeks' time.
Sure.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Near Easter.
Yeah, near Easter, yeah. Hey, man. Yeah, fucking Good Friday's next week, isn't it?
Yes, I'm off as well. Thanks.
Yeah. Cheers.
Long weekend.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Take care.
Take it easy, man. Good luck.